welcome to the training ground. The manager and Axel are here to take your questions. If you'd like to put your hand up.
Daniel James wasn't out there today. Could you tell us about his situation and the squad update, I guess?
Yeah, he's got a knock against Leicester, so he won't be available. And still Luke, Paul, Anthony, they're away. Diogo is back. Jesse is back, available. Apart from that, I think, obviously Eric's out. So we're getting some players back and losing some. That's just the way it is.
Ole, you're a former wonder kid. Erling Braut Haaland scored 3 goals in the Champions League yesterday. Can you describe what you think about his development since you worked together? What's your reaction on what he did yesterday? And can he play on a level like Man United one day?
It was nice watching the game last night, but my focus obviously is on the game tomorrow. So it's great watching him. I think everyone in Norway are excited by his developments.
Ole, have managed in the Europa League before with Molde. What did you learn about with that experience that you can take into this year's Europa League?
I think Europa League is I really enjoyed it. We won the group with Molde, obviously. Close last year against Zenit. And you meet different types of teams, different types of cultures. And that's, of course, it's a new experience for us tomorrow, playing Astana. But it's also for them a new experience. And it's important that you win your home games, especially this group as well, with 2 away games being AstroTurf. I think home games will be important for us.
Decision on whether he'll play, and if so, how good has he been as a number 2? Because obviously with David he doesn't get much option to get in there.
Obviously David signed his contract, and now we got him. Maybe I should keep on playing him now. It's Sergio will play tomorrow for sure. He's proven to be a top keeper behind David, and to keep him ready if something happens to David. Of course, tomorrow is a chance for me to give him some much needed game time, because David's been very robust, and to give him the chance is great, and he's always been reliable.
Ollie, how do you approach the Europa League in terms of the English clubs talk about the demands it places on their squad?
Yeah.
And obviously there's been a lot of young players around the squad.
Yeah.
Are any of them going to start tomorrow?
One of them sits here. He's going to start, so it's great for us, because I have a big squad. I've got we had pre-season, which went really well. Everyone were fighting for places. Then the closer we got to the league, we had to make a decision on the starting 11. Axel's one of them who unfortunately just didn't make the starting 11, and we played well. So now is a chance for some of them to get some minutes, and we'll have a game every 3 or 4 days now, so we'll see the use of the squad more, and there'll be some young ones tomorrow. Yeah. Greenwood will play definitely. It's his first start since Cardiff last year, so he also needs game time.
There's been a documentary on Amazon Prime just recently released, showing how Daniel James was just on the brink of signing for Leeds United in January. How happy are you that he came here instead, and how you think of the way he's played?
Delighted with Dan. Of course, that we signed him, that we managed to get him to Manchester is fantastic. He's proven with his X factor, he's proven already that he'll give the squad a lot. So I don't watch too many documentaries, but I know he was very close. But that's football. Sometimes, you got to take a chance, and sometimes it works in different ways and strange ways, life, and he's started really well here.
Well, like Fred did pretty well when he came on at the weekend. He had a good impact. He's obviously had to wait for that chance. How confident are you that he's going to get off to a good start now? I mean, the assumption is that he is going to start tomorrow.
You're picking my team, you know. I might as well just give it here. So, well, obviously Fred, he came on, did well for the 20 minutes. We needed his legs, his sharpness, and he's been patient. He's been working hard. He's not a young boy, but he's still young in his English career, and hopefully it will kickstart his season tomorrow. I'm sure we'll see more and more of Fred. We spoke about it earlier. He's had some great games in midfield with Scott, the PSG Arsenal games, for example. So we're just waiting for that to flourish.
Ole, now clearly you'd have ambitions for Champions League, not Europa League, but with David signing that contract, what does it say for you, and how pleased are you that you've got a player of that class that's committed now to Manchester United, and how much of a boost does it give every player in the squad that world-class players do still want to be at Manchester United?
And most of the time we get to keep the ones we want to keep, and the longer it went, but the more I got to listen in and speak to David, I was pretty confident that we were going to make it, and David's delighted. I think you can see by his performance against Leicester that he'd made up his mind. You can see the focus in his eyes again, and it gives everyone that plays in front of him, you can ask Axel, a boost, because you do feel very secure with a focused David in behind you, and he's really worked hard this season, and with Richard coming in as a coach with Emilio, I think we're going to see more of him, because we're on a path to build him up. He's still young. Edwin signed for us when he was 35, so I'm sure David will be a part of a successful United team.
Axel, your manager's invited that question to you.
Yeah, most definitely. I think even in the training games, when you have David behind you, you just feel more secure, feel a bit more liberated to express yourself, because you know he's behind you, and like you guys see it every week, he's always stopping the shots.
Ole, Calgary have been cleared of racist chanting towards one of your former players, Romelu Lukaku. Is it evidence the authorities aren't taking this problem seriously enough still?
Well, if you have to catch the call it idiots, racist, and we've just got to keep on working towards that people really understand what football is about, and that's about enjoying yourself on the pitch. And when you accept that, I think it's wrong.
Hi Ole. You work with Braut Haaland, and tomorrow we'll see Mason Greenwood. What's your most important advice to these talented strikers?
Yeah, when you got strikers who can score goals, you should never lose the hunger of scoring goals. Never lose the appetite of creating chances. Be ready to take your chances. Mason's one of the best finishers I've seen, and I've played with quite a few decent ones. So just work hard every single day. You're 17 or 19 or 18 and 19. There's so many years ahead of you. You've just got to keep on working, and the next game is always the most important one. Doesn't matter if you scored 3 last week or 2 weeks before. The next one's always the most important one.
A question for Axel. Just wondered, how rewarding has it been for you personally this season, after your loan at Aston Villa last season, to be in the first team picture at United?
Yeah, it's all part of you know, the process of growing. I remember starting my glimpses in the first team when I was about 19. You know, it wasn't to be then, but like the manager said, you just got to keep working hard. And now I'm 21 and things are starting to open up more, and we have more of a clearer path of where I want to be going and where the team is going. So, you know, staying here this season was the right decision.
Just a quick one. You obviously came on in midfield, I think, against Leicester. So where do you see yourself long term?
Definitely central defender, but again, if the manager needs me to do a job for the team to secure the game out, see it out, so we ensure we win the game, then I'm always for it.
Hi, Ole. Last season, when you were here, the highlight was undoubtedly PSG away. You experienced Barcelona as well, which are huge occasions for these players. Tomorrow's going to be completely different to that. In a way, do you want them to maybe feel the hurt of not being in those games as a motivation to get back into the Champions League?
I think all boys watch the Premier League games, you watch the top games, you watch when other teams lift the trophies. If it's not your team, if you watch Champions League last night or tonight, I think they'll want to get there, and we want to get there. And Europa League is a pathway for us there. It's a chance to, if you go on and win this, we're in the Champions League. And but also, you got some youngsters playing tomorrow. It's not about thinking too far ahead now. It's thinking about getting into the team, playing well tomorrow against Astana, and then I'll have to think about West Ham.
Ollie, at the back here.
Yeah.
If Mason were to take his chance tomorrow, play well, and maybe next week against Rochdale, is it a case that he can become a first-team regular, or are you just dropping him in and out of these games rather than the Premier League?
He's still very young, Mason, but he's maturing. He's developed so much in the last 6 months since I came in. I remember the kid who just wanted to play with his mates in the under-18s, and now he's knocking on the door. He's ready to play these games. For me, he's been in the under-21s with England. He's tasting it more and more, and his appetite for football it must be growing. For me, let's see how. I just don't want to put too much pressure on him, apart from go out there and enjoy yourself, and work hard, close down, because when the ball lands in your feet, I know you're going to score anyway. I know you're going to make the right finish. Keeper might make a fantastic save, but he's as I said, one of the best finishers I've seen. And it's just that enjoyment, express yourself, go out at Old Trafford, because there'll be 11 Astana players living the dream tomorrow. It must be one of the biggest games of their careers, some of these players, but I want it to be a memorable one for all our players as well, and Mason's one of them.
Ollie, can I ask about Charlie Wellens? We saw him out training today.
Yeah.
A bit of a surprise to many of us. Is he in your thoughts, or is it just getting experience?
It's what we do at this club. At certain points, we drop him in, train with the first team, get a little taste for it. Obviously, I know his dad from when he played, and we know Charlie's. He's a very good footballer. Today, I think, was a great day for him when training with him, and I remember when I was in the first team. Suddenly, Fabian Brandy is there, 15 years of age, and training with us, and it's just one of these little drips to make them players.
And Axel, it's 2 years, 3 months since your last start at Old Trafford for Man United. How much is it going to mean? And I mean, I guess that's reward for not going out on loan again. I mean, was that close in the summer, or was your focus always on kicking on here?
Like I said, we had a conversation with the manager. We decided what was best for my development. Staying here was the better option. I have faith in the process. The plan is in place. Again, tomorrow is a stepping stone to reaching the bigger goal. So I don't let the distance of when I've played kind of dictate how I feel. Again, every opportunity is there for me to express myself, and that's why I want to deliver tomorrow.
Axel, everyone knows you've been at the club for many years. It's been quite a journey for you, but do you think you've grown through that journey? And everyone's talking about this perhaps as your breakthrough season. Do you get that feeling that you're getting closer?
Most definitely. I think definitely this season I feel extremely hungry. Also, I believe in the process. I believe in the coaching staff. I believe in the group of players we have. We're much more a family, I would say. We're tighter. We communicate better. So, again, for all the other youngsters coming through as well, it'd be a great season for them to kind of jump onto it.
Axel, how much do you feel you developed by being at Aston Villa, both in terms of playing but also becoming more hardened to life as a professional footballer? Obviously, Villa are a big club, a lot of fans. They had an up and down season last season, and then hugely important games at the end.
Again, you kind of realise when you step out into the men's world, especially Championship division, you realise it's not all about that nice play. It's also doing a job and ensuring you get the 3 points. It becomes more of a shift than just enjoying the game. So I think in that terms I've toughened up a lot, learned to kind of ride the battles and understand what you're up against and understand what you have to do to ensure you win the game.
Ollie, you say Mason's one of the best finishers you've seen. First question is he better than you were? And as a follow-up, I just wonder, you're obviously putting a lot of store in the youth side of things, and you've been widely praised for that. I just wonder what the risks are for you as manager of a big club like this, putting so much store in so many teenagers.
He's better than me now, for sure. That's I don't have the accuracy anymore, but I think it's part of what Axel is talking about as well. It's a process, and for these that we trust them, is for them to grow as players, but also human beings. That responsibility, being robust enough to go out at Old Trafford. It's not just about enjoying yourself, as Axel says, because you've got to get results, and if you don't throw them in, you don't know what you've got. So for me, I don't see this as any other way of doing it, because I've always done this wherever I've been. So I've not been too many places, but that's my belief as a coach, that you have to give them a chance, opportunity, especially forward players. They'll win you games. Defenders, they, as Axel says, it's not about enjoying themselves, it's a shift. Find a way to win the game, keep them out. And I don't expect Axel to be the most creative player on the pitch tomorrow, but he's defending. He's a defender, and Mason's a forward. And if he misses a chance, so what? There's another one as a defender. You might just get the headlines for the wrong reasons.
Axel, hi. Marcus Rashford obviously made his name in the Europa League. How much of an inspiration has he been to the young players in the squad?
I think you guys can bear witness to that. You know, since his breakthrough, the energy throughout the youngsters, even the youth team changing rooms, it's still there. That remembrance of when Marcus came through, everyone really believed that it was possible for all of us to come through. So yeah, that season was a big season for the likes of myself, all the team. Like, we were still 18 years old, so we was thinking, yeah, we're ready to play first team. But it was amazing what he done, and you know, he's still continuing to grow. We're still having that positive energy onto the youngsters now. Always wanted them to develop. Like, for example, Mason, Angel, Chungi, they all kind of look up to him and see his pathway and kind of replicate that and make it into their own.
And for Ole as well, how do you see Marcus Rashford's stature in the dressing room now?
Of course, as Axel says, many of the youngsters have been looking up to him, and he's been an example for them. And he's a true professional. He's trying to improve every single day, and that's what a Man United player should be. If you're 21 or 31, doesn't matter, or 17, you have to try to better yourself, and he's working at it. I thought it was a big moment for him when he scored a penalty against Leicester, after what's been happening in the early season. So he can handle the pressure.
Hi, Ole. When United won this tournament the last time in 2017, Mourinho chose a fairly experienced team, certainly towards the latter stages of the tournament. You choose to go for a fairly young side tomorrow. Is that going to be your approach throughout the whole tournament, or will you kind of maybe twist and change when you...
Every team selection will depend on who's fit, who's available, who's played lately, where we're at, what's the game before, what's the game after, who needs games. It's not set in stone that this tournament is just going to be for youngsters. They might play in the league. There might be the experienced ones that need the Europa League games in the end. That's just decisions we have to make at the time. It changes like this in the life of a footballer and as a coach.
Do we have any questions from our friends from Kazakhstan? No, okay, thank you. All right, last question.
Sorry, Ollie, is finishing natural to Mason? And if it is that the similarity with yourself? And is that what makes players like you and him so unique and different?
It seems natural, but it never is just natural talent. It's practice, it's repetition, it's being... knowing how to hit a ball in whichever situation you're in. he does, and that doesn't come from birth. That comes from practicing. It's probably started when he was early, kicking balloons, and then you go on to but his technique is brilliant. So, but it's repetition, repetition, repetition.